Hey guys, Bada Bing here, thanks for joining me. Today we're going to be checking out the HK45 Compact Tactical by VFC. Now, I have a love-hate relationship when it comes to VFC. I love the guns they make, but I hate the fact that it's VFC producing them. My previous issues with their HK417 and Glock 17 still leaving a lasting impression in my mind. But then they came out with this, and they certainly had my curiosity. This better be good. Now, before we get started, this pistol will cost you anywhere from £170 to £200 sterling or euros. And for that price, you'll still find the pistol living in a cheap Umarex H&K box. Wow. Revealing the contents, you'll find the pistol in a plastic bag, along with the user manual, replaceable medium-sized backstrap and hop-up/hammer lock tool hidden underneath the cardboard partition. Now, to the pistol. Okay, VFC, you did a rather nice job with the externals, that's no surprise there, right? The polymer lower frame feels like a decent chunk of plastic. The texture is exceptional. The HK45 grip styling mimicking H&K's P2000 and MP7, which I like just as much as the Batman one found on the full-size HK45. The HK45 written on the grip looks sweet. The metal slide feels solid and with a very dark black finish. The trademarks are also sharp and very nice. Sights are very similar to the standard HK45 and are the 3-dot style affair. This tactical version obviously featuring the full ambi controls and 16mm threaded barrel. The magazines are very well finished, and the baseplate extension adds a level of comfort to the grip and aids when the support hand wraps around. The capacity is 21 BBs, although downloading to 20 would reduce the stress to the nozzle when inserted slide closed. There's something I noticed when I first inspected the magazines. The tops looked very familiar. Feed lips, rubber gas seal, output valve, I've seen this before. Suspicion confirmed when I placed the magazine next to the one on the KSC USP full-sized. They were pretty much the same. VFC have copied KSC/KWA magazines. The USP magazine actually fit within the HK45 Compact and locked perfectly into place. While it was able to accept the magazine, it wouldn't fire without venting the gas. However, on one of my USP magazines, I have a high output valve. Now, this magazine was able to work on the HK45 Compact and work well. The valve is adjustable via a flathead screw, and it required unscrewing a tad just to gain a little more reach for a positive valve strike, and bingo, the USP magazine is compatible. Furthermore, the valve, made by Action, and originally for the KSC Glocks, USPs Mark 23 and others, is able to fit within the VFC HK45 Compact magazine, so I just left it in there. More on that in a bit. Before an accuracy test, I put a few shots through the chrono. Using propane and .2s, it scored very inconsistent readings, anywhere from 240s right up to 300 FPS. It's all over the place. Regardless if I used a standard magazine or the high output upgraded mag, but bear in mind my chrono is older than water, so variations could be the fault of my unit. Accuracy wise, it's not too bad, I guess. With 10 shots at this target 20 meters away, it was able to hit all around the paper, but with no degree of precision. The trigger pull isn't too bad. Double action pull is pretty heavy, but I suppose it's a good kind of heavy. Similar to a Beretta M9, so it isn't gritty, it's just smooth. The single action pull feels very numb. There's no felt indication as you squeeze, and before you know it, bang, it's gone. While it doesn't feel toy-like and plasticky like the Tokyo Muri HK45 trigger, but at least with that you can take it to the wall and determine if you need to take that shot or ease off. With this, the squeeze is just unpredictable. It doesn't get too much better with the reset. It feels like a long time after you let the trigger come forward, you may hear it tick over. Safety decocker lever is tactile and has very clicky indications, much like many other HK gas blowback pistols, so that's good. Now, firing the pistol. Well, it's kind of a mixed bag, especially this time of year. Under the weight of that metal slide, it's pretty difficult for the 45 to empty a magazine with any degree of enthusiasm. It chugged a lot when using propane on a standard magazine, and it didn't inspire me at all. It left me feeling very meh. Even with the magazine warmed up, it still didn't take too kindly to the 3-degree weather. The HK45 came into its own with the upgraded valve magazine though. For the most part, it blasted through the 20 shots to successfully lock up empty. The only times where it didn't go as planned was when I reloaded it right from a bone-cold magazine. So this is pretty much expected with metal slide pistols. Users intending to brave the cold would have to use rocket fuel for it to be of any use. Still, those times where I did leave the magazine to warm up in my pockets produced pleasing results. Graded valve. One more. Lock back on empty. Nice, crisp, fast. BB just went straight out there. That's how it should be. So, top recommended tip right there. Get yourself an enhanced output valve, high output. I would believe this one is the Action one for the KSC, Glock 17, and all the rest of them. They fit the USP as well. And no doubt AMG will be bringing out their own version. They did with the VP9, so it looks like they're going to be catering for the HK45 Compact Tactical when it's available in Asia. That is a definite upgrade. Use in cold weather, Garda black gas, all the way, and it works. Upon a chilled mag, I applied some canned heat, Garda black gas. The pistol was able to fire almost as well as a warm-up propane magazine. Again, Garda black gas coming to the rescue in the chilly environments. Well. Black gas, Garda power-up gas to be exact, running in the magazine with a modified high-output valve by Action, I believe. Empty the magazine. However, some of the BBs were dropping, but they still managed to maintain a decent cyclic rate, nice and snappy, before it completed the magazine and locked back on empty as it should. At the start of the day, I couldn't help but taking out the Ace 1 Arms OSP suppressor before the cold began to set in. Oh yeah. Might be a bit big for this pistol. But it sure does put together a wonderful looking rig. What do you think? Might weigh down the barrel a little bit, but let's see if it will still shoot nice and quick. Perfect. Nice and snappy. That was a warm magazine as well. I've been warming up in my pocket just with propane, and that's got the enhanced output, high output valve on it, and it burned through it perfectly and locked back on empty. It didn't really slow down much, if at all. So, all that's said and done, is the VFC pistol worth the price of admission? Well, I'd say only if you adore the Compact Tactical. Of course, just looking at the fantastic finish and build makes me go all giddy, but as a hardcore gaming pistol, it is not. Putting aside the colder weather, it failed to shoot any decent groupings, and that's even firing from indoors outward. The stock valve which comes in the magazines aren't very good either, and they're just as crap as the ones supplied in my Glock 17 and HK417 3 years ago. Another major con is indeed the price. Much like their recent VP9 and their FNX 45 Tactical, the initial cost is too expensive. The magazines are even more of a joke at £40 plus. That's gas blowback rifle magazine territory. It's ridiculous, and it shouldn't be that pricey considering they're basically ripping off the KSC/KWA USP mechanics. Seriously, take a look at the KSC USP and VFC HK45 side by side. From the looks of it, they spent a weekend making up the compact tactical externals and applied someone else's idea to the internals. They just changed the method of hop-up adjustment in a shoddy attempt to differentiate themselves. However, this is nothing new with airsoft brands cloning each other. Now you could save a little money by buying KWA USP magazines or even the compact magazines, although on the compact magazines I'm not sure if the base plates would allow for a successful lockup. Only, don't forget the valves, they just sit a little bit too low for positive activation. To get the best out of the pistol, it would be wise to upgrade to the high flow valves. Deja vu? On my old VFC HK417 it benefited from those A+ ramjet valves, and now I'm recommending the same upgrade for their pistol. I'm beginning to see a pattern with these pesky VFC gas blowbacks. Of course, veteran VFC gas blowback rifle user Mr. Nugent GL applying the same upgrade to his VFCs, so that's ace advice right there. To enhance his capabilities, one could experiment with aftermarket hopper buckings because, of course, there's room for improvement for sure. If you're set up with the valve upgraded magazines, I reckon you'd be good to go with this HK45, just as long as it's not too cold though. If it is, then by all means, black gas it up. Cool factor is it's suppressor ready. It can have you silently popping off your targets with a touch of class, and as you see here in the colder months, it'll only get better during the warmer ones. If you have any questions on this pistol, feel free to comment below or even hit me up with a message on Facebook, facebook.com/badabingpictures. And if you enjoyed this video, why not show the love by hitting the like and subscribe. And until next time folks, catch you in a bit. Yeah, metal slides are nice and everything, but in the cold weather, if you're not using CO2 on a CO2 capable gun, nothing beats plastic fantastic. You see? It's freezing out here, and this still works.